Hi everybody, it's Whisper Spinner again, and I'm back with another perfume review. If you saw the other video, I reviewed 2 perfumes, and now I've got one that I'm very excited and a little bit afraid to try. It is an infamous perfume, and I very much suspect that I'm not going to like it, but it didn't cost very much, and I wanted to do something exciting, so I'm gonna try this perfume. And this perfume is called LouLou by Cacharel. If you watched the other video, you know I really like Noah by Cacharel, and that is the perfume that I tend to wear. And it's extremely inoffensive. Now, that's one end of the spectrum. On the complete other side of the spectrum is LouLou Cacharel. Lulu is supposedly, from what I've read, it is like Marmite. People either love it or they hate it. And I tend to be a bit love and hate about things. So, which is why it's so funny that I wear Noah, because it's the most uncontroversial, innocent, innocuous perfume ever. But let's try Lulu. I'm gonna open the box. I have never smelled this before. I'm gonna open the box. I have never smelled this before. Okay. Copyright Cacharel, 1986. Okay. Oh my gosh. Really? Okay. Oh. Okay. I've just opened it. And I'm just smelling the sprayer. It's bright. It's a bit fruity. What was I saying? The last video was saying that I don't like fruity smells. It's a bit sultry. Okay. I'm gonna spray it on some paper first. I'm afraid to spray it on myself, but maybe I just need to. Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. Why was I so afraid of this? Okay. I don't know why I was so afraid of this perfume, because I really thought, oh, I shouldn't spray this on myself. It's going to be so heavy and horrible. Oh my God, I understand what people said, that it smells like plastic doll head. It really does. But in the good way, like the good... Like, what can I say? I sprayed it on and I felt like I just went back in a time machine. What are you doing to me? Okay, Lulu. Oui, c'est moi. It's dusky. It's playful. Oh, it's a bit plasticky, but I smell powder. Incense. I like the incense in Noah, so maybe my sense of smell isn't as good as I think it is. Oh, it reminds me of like beauty salon. Why is that? No, I'm not sure if I'm getting. I don't know. Some people say they smell cat cat piss. Can I say that in the ASMR video? Am I smelling that? No. Now I smell sugar. Now I smell. Did I just say cat's piss and sugar? What? It's not, but I can see why. I can see why maybe people say that. Okay, I'm gonna let it settle. I'm gonna read the review for Lulu. Okay, so Lulu by Cacharel. The main accords are powdery, white floral, amber, vanilla, warm spicy, sweet, woody, fruity, tuberose, and balsamic. Okay. It has a rating of 3.83 out of 5 with 7,561 votes. Almost universally, people think this is a night fragrance and for cold weather. It's hard because I just sprayed Noah and Verven on my arms, and I just washed my arms with soap and water, but I can kind of sense on the Verven arm. I can sense it. Oh. The dry down is doing something. It's doing something. It's doing something very good. Oh my gosh. That's nice. Okay. The text on fragrantica.com says Lulu by Cacharel is an oriental floral fragrance for women. Lulu was launched in 1987. The nose behind this fragrance is Jean Guichard. Top notes are plum, Chinese cinnamon wood, iris, violet, anise, jasmine, lily, mimosa, and cassia. I hope there's not too much cassia in this because actually I'm allergic to cassia. Middle notes are tuberose, ylang ylang, heliotrope, orris root, orange blossom, and Tahitian tiare flower. Base notes are incense, vanilla, benzoin, sandalwood, and musk. Okay. Well, I won't be spraying any more on me until I see if I come up in a rash, because cassia in foods makes my mouth itch. So I have a bit of a sensitivity to it, but we'll see. Okay, it says that this perfume was one of the top-selling perfumes of the 1980s, one of those bold, powerful, distinguishing, and timeless fragrances. Lulu is a controversial perfume that people either like or dislike, one that provokes different emotions, and indifference for sure is not one of them. Lulu is a fragrance dangerous like Pandora's box. Lulu is like an intoxicating, dark red flower which lures you into the depths of a dark and dangerous forest. Yet it is impossible to resist, and once you are engrossed by its warm scent, you simply have to let go and follow it. You must pick the forbidden fruit. The perfume is built around the beautiful and sensual scent of tiare flower, which is the Tahitian symbol of welcome. The top notes are composed of violet, plum, blackcurrant, marigold, and anise. The heart of a sweet tiare flower is accentuated with the notes of tuberose, ylang ylang, and orange blossom. I can smell the ylang ylang. And all that is followed by a powdery trace of orris and tonka bean and a sensual mix of vanilla and balsam. This sensual, wild, and mysterious perfume is captured in an opaque blue and red flaston of a simple octagonal and straight-line shape that narrows towards the top. An earlier version of the bottle was designed like Aladdin's lamp with a blue octagonal base and a red spiky top. It comes in a cardboard outer box painted in red flowers and colorful vegetation against a very dark forest. And my cat has just arrived. What do you think? Do you like that? Hey? Okay, time for the cat test. He's pretty indifferent, but he didn't lash out at me, so that must mean that he's okay with the smell. Oh, it smells like memory. I just don't know who. I don't know who used to wear this. Oh, I like it. It smells like grown up. Let's read some of these reviews. Okay, Meru 2 days ago said, there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. I like powdery scents, but this is just overwhelmingly synthetic plastic doll bubblegum powder. Massive opening, longevity is solid. This feels like it had everything it needs to be good. It just isn't. I like this. Fregaga wrote this 3 days ago. When I was a teen, we moved into a new flat, and the woman who lived there before left some things behind, mostly furniture. One day when I was home alone and I found some interesting cosmetics in the bathroom. There were 2 bottles of perfume, one made from gorgeous white ceramics with pastel flowers on it, and this other weird opaque plastic one that looked like a deodorant to me. I smelled the cap of the beautiful white bottle and recoiled at the screechy sharp scent. I decided to still dare to have a sniff at the weird plastic bottle and fell in love. From this moment on, I would just sniff the bottle now and then, not knowing what it was. To me, it smelled just wonderful. It was powdery, soft and sweet, with that exotic flower note. Since nothing was on the bottle, I didn't know what it was until I started collecting perfumes and browsing perfume websites, and there I found it on a photo. Lulu. Whenever I would pass this in a store, I would smile. It's one of the most wonderful scents that I smelled. I wish they would still make it in a different bottle. Here we go. Soprain said on November 3rd, 2020, 2 women from my past, both of whom I admire, wore this perfume. Even though I adored both these women, I always found Lulu very cloying and somehow too much. Today I found a neglected bottle someone had given me, and after my recent deep dive into perfume obsession and my attempts to train my nose to detect something beyond a foggy general impression, I now find this perfume completely gorgeous. Lovely initial hit of plummy incense. 6 hours later, I couldn't stop smelling my wrist after it had dried down to a beautiful powdery vanilla jasmine. I'm not sure it totally suits me, but it's gorgeous. Jewel 9 said on October 30th. I deleted my previous review because it was based on an initial impression I now know was just that, an impression born of prejudice. When I first sprayed it, I found it loud, threatening, just too much. It was a panicky day. I kept inhaling it, hyperventilated. Finally took a long bath, washed off the scent of Lulu, and promised myself I'll gift it to my grandma. The next day I sprayed it again, though, and the day after, and I kept getting to know Lulu in various times, weathers, on various fabrics and parts of the body. I smelled the development in the scent composition from the beginning right to the end. I love it now, and I cannot imagine not having it. It opens with just too much tuberose and a stereotype of the Orient, but it develops, it expands, takes you to church with flowers and incense, then Chinese cinnamon wood, plum, ylang ylang, powder, vanilla, benzoin, which is so sharp at first sniff and yet so comforting later when it melts with vanilla. Imagine an old ship transferring spices, the fragrant wood, the uncertainty of tomorrow. Imagine a vampire in her coffin, funeral flowers adorning it, cruel eternal life lying ahead. Imagine a huge plum vanilla birthday cake and being shocked when someone jumps out of it. Strangely, these weird circumstances change, seem comforting, seem like home, but maybe it is you who changes. This is my best approximation of how Lulu smells, but really, you have to try it for yourself. I think it's worth testing at least and seeing whether you can domesticate this beast. On the 23rd of October, Wood Amber wrote, I kept saying wow when I tried this for the first time. On my skin I get a symphony of incense, vanilla, plum, and a lot of flowers. This is complex yet beautiful, soft, sweet, and powdery. Sensual, deep, comforting, and romantic. I love this. Very long lasting, and the sillage, well, it will spread to your entourage whether they like it or not. Haha. Oh, yes. It's It's very it's very different and very evocative. Maybe one of my aunts used to wear it. Carlotta Marie says, I bought a vintage mini from eBay, and this definitely smells like the 80s. It was definitely very inspired by Poison, but I personally like this a bit better. This is what I can imagine Audrey Horne in Twin Peaks wearing. It's dark and rich, but also soft and feminine. I am shocked that there is no leather note listed in this. On my skin, it definitely smells leather. I definitely smell leather. It's nice, and I like it, but I don't adore it. Because this was inspired by Louise Brooks, I expect it to smell a bit more unique and less typical of the 1980s, and more inspired by fragrances of the 1920s. I'm still happy to have it in my collection, and I adore the beautiful little Art Deco bottle on my vanity. Update. Starting to love this more. So powdery and heavy with vanilla tuberose incense, but still manages to be smooth and silky. This is more like incense and plum heavy version of Le Bleu. Here's a bad review by Goofy79 from 16th of September 2020. This Lulu perfume has become a total joke. It smells like buttery popcorn with some smoke. It lasts a maximum of 3 hours. When I was a teenager in the 90s, Lulu was a perfume you only had to use a couple drops of, yet the white and purple flowers were much more intense. These days, Cacharel is pulling our legs and having a laugh at us for being dumb enough to waste money on this wannabe EDP. I would gladly spend the right amount of money, more money on it, if they brought it back to its former self. Shame on you, Cacharel. Oh, I like this. Pepe Limoko wrote on August 28th, when I spray this on, I do so generously. Lulu is my cloak of mystery and veil of protection. For hours I'm warmly wrapped in the thick comfort of vanilla and hidden behind a protective smokescreen of incense. Smelling from the stopper bottle, I get a hint of marzipan, but this doesn't come through much for me in spray wear. The vanilla note is gigantic, but it manages to never be too sweet or cloying. It's not what I would describe as a gourmand either, just lightly spiced, lightly smoked, lightly powdered vanilla. Despite my heavy hand and Lulu's impressive longevity, my nose never tunes her out. This scent continues to catch my attention so that I thoroughly enjoy the whole wear. I find that it works especially well sprayed into my hair. I can't get enough. And Anitama Seno wrote on the 27th of August, this was my first grown-up perfume, and I adore it. Timeless, powerful, not for everyone. Fava Beans wrote on August 20th, I had a bottle of this as a gift from a French exchange student way back when. I really don't think I appreciated the gift at its full merit, though I wore the whole bottle. I would really like to smell it again. The memory of this scent has faded. Update. I did it. Massively overpaid for a teensy sample bottle, and the memory came back. This is a lot of fun. It's a smidge dated to my nose, but a real powerhouse. Spicy vanilla and all around fantastic. How do I love this one, yet dislike hypnotic poison? It's a mystery. There's one I want to find. R. Schmidt 65 wrote on the 1st of August 2013. I love this review actually. In my early 20s, I lived for a few years in Switzerland. I worked in a building with a French woman who received a lot of male attention. This was something that puzzled me as she was small and bony with a horse face and frizzy mouse-colored hair. Of course, she was very chic, as only French women know how to be, but it may have been something to do with the wisps of gorgeous fragrance that she left in her wake. Before I moved back to the States, I asked her what it was that she was wearing and so discovered Lulu. I wore Lulu almost exclusively for 15 years after that, because really, why would you wear something else when you can have the olfactory perfection that is Lulu? Someone below described seeing purple when she smells Lulu, and I get that too. It's sweet and floral, creamy and incensey. Alien reminds me a bit of Lulu, but where Alien is metallic, Lulu is fleshy. I smell jasmine, tuberose, and vanilla, but mostly I just smell Lulu. There really is nothing else like it. Scarlett wrote on December 10th, 2011, glorious, rich, opulent, friendly, but not overly so, sharp and witty, but once you get to know her, very soft, smooth, alluring, glamorous, and reeks of confidence, intimidating, fantastic. I first wore this in 1988 when I smelled a lady wearing it at the bus stop outside, Siage Monster, and stopped and asked her what it was. 24 hours later, I owned a bottle. I was 17. This is a heavy hitter. I think it is stronger than poison. This is a spray in the air and walk-through fragrance. If applied this way, it is divine. It smells nothing like bubblegum. Nothing. It also smells nothing like Jardin de Bagatelle. JDB is so harsh and mean and dry. Lulu is juicy and fancy and ripe and personable. If you spray this one normal style, each wrist, cleavage, and back of your neck, if you're me, you will have a severe headache and you will make people around you feel queasy. This is a masterpiece if not over-applied. I have a hard time not overdoing it. I actually get a little nervous when I'm going to wear it, but wear it I must. Anomie et Ivoire on the 20th of November 2012. In colder weather, I crave this sly plastic new wave genius almost daily. Sharpie huffing opening with heady cosmetic melange, then up peaks of white floral middle edging on melancholy, then the base to end all bases of shameless big vanilla and cheap but cheerful incense unfolds like an origami universe of strange comforts and plush oddity. Lulu is the freedom and comfort in being offbeat, as in, yeah, I don't need your normal, you're expensive, you're respectable. I've got, in the words of RuPaul, charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. Lulu gets called out as the extroverted party good time gal, super flirt a lot, but I wear Lulu as a comfort scent when alone or when I want to make a don't mess with me kind of gleefully tacky statement in less than interesting public places. The vintage is more floral, while the current formula is more incensey, plasticky, shamelessly modernist. Lulu gets better with every wear. As a kid, all of my babysitters wore this and had the then it seemed toy-like bottles on their vanity tables. I desperately wanted what was in those forbidden fruit bottles, and who knew the Barbie plastic held something so worthy of all that childish longing. Maybe the best teen-saturated perfume ever, and I fully plan to wear this one forever. Iconic, emotive, and entirely accessible and unpretentious. I like this. One of these people said that it's I can't find it. Someone in one of the reviews says that it's the perfume that Dita Von Teese wears, and if she wears that, then you know it is a very attractive perfume. Let's find a negative review. Oh my god, I've been wanting this forever. Just knew I'd love it. This is Mad Cat 96 from September 27, 2013. I've been wanting this forever. I just knew I'd love it. I love heavy, strong Oriental powerhouses, and everything I've read and heard about this one made it sound perfect to me. Often love ones that others hate. Finally purchased the 1-ounce bottle. It just came today. Public bathroom deodorizer, those cakes bars they put in the toilet and urinals, ant and roach spray, cloying citrus and incense trying to cover strong chemicals. The very first perfume I can't understand anyone ever wanting to wear. Hopefully this is a bad reformulation. There's a yummy vintage version somewhere else, but I'm stumped at its popularity. June 25th, 2014. Lulu is definitely a love it or hate it fragrance. I used to have a neighbor when I was a kid that loved Lulu and was always wearing it, and every time she showed up on the corridors of my building, the smell would come meters ahead of her. I'm joking, obviously, but it was a very strong smell, and she always hugged me and made me feel intoxicated. Many years later, I decided to try it at a store and gave my wrist a good squirt before using a paper strip, and it was very strong. I left the store and walked home smelling it all the time. A few moments later, I noticed that it dried down to a smell of dolls, new dolls, when opening the box. Exact same smell. Even though it might bring childhood memories, I would not start wearing this perfume. Too strong and too intoxicating. The sillage is perfect and lasting power too. Very rich composition. So that was some reviews of Lulu, and that was the other day I recorded that. And since then, I have worn it 4 more times. Because what happened was, the next day, I kept thinking about it and trying to place what the fragrance was and decide if I liked it. And I really wasn't sure because I kept thinking about that negative review that said that it smelled like urinal cakes and Raid bug spray. And I thought, God. And remember what I said when I first smelled it. I was like, this smells like, does this smell like cat piss? I shouldn't say this stuff on my channel. Please forgive me. But I had that bizarre reaction to it. And then I was sitting at work thinking about this perfume because things are boring. It's the pandemic. Stuff is so boring. Anyway, I got home and I tried it on again. And I thought, wow, even though I think I know what people are saying with their negative reviews, I just don't really smell it. It smells good. And I liked wearing it, so I thought I need to get to know this fragrance. So I sprayed it on before I went to bed, and I slept wearing it. It just sounds crazy. Anyway, I woke up and my cat likes to pester me in the morning, and he came up and he was sniffing down my arm with his little nose, and he didn't seem to dislike it, and that is one of my important criteria. So anyway, he liked it and I quite liked it, so I decided to wear it at work. And I thought, if it's something that people aren't going to like, now is the time to wear it, because everybody has to stay away from each other. We're all social distancing at work, and nobody comes around my area because they are not allowed. So I wore it and I liked it all day. I liked it more and more. And then I didn't wear it because I'm going to do another perfume review actually a little bit later. I wore that. And then on Friday, I decided to wear it again. And I had to get petrol for my car. And it's the weirdest thing. I was filling my car with petrol, and I could smell the petrol smell. I don't know if when you were a kid, if you ever liked the smell of a gas station, which I did. I don't know, I kind of liked that smell. Something about the two smells together just really worked, and I had this feeling of like, if it was the 80s and you're out on the town and you're gonna go dancing or something, or just you're all dressed up, and the smell of the city and the smell of this Lulu just kind of worked. I don't know. There was a review I didn't read where someone said that it didn't really work on their skin and it just smelled like rotting flesh, which is just A horrible, horrible smell. And sometimes that can happen, like people's chemistry. Perfume just doesn't work on certain people, different perfumes. So you really have to find the one that works on your skin. But I can't believe I'm going to say this. I've just told you there's all this gross stuff that Lulu is somehow skirting the edge of, but yet it's very nice and comforting. And having read all that stuff, it made me afraid to smell it. But when I did smell it, I really liked it. I like it. I guess that's all there is to it. I like it. I don't think I could wear it all the time. When I first sprayed it on, my husband's like, oh, that makes my nose itch. But then about 40 minutes later, he's like, oh, it doesn't make my nose itch anymore. And he didn't say that he didn't like it, but he also didn't say that he liked it. But it also didn't bother the cats. So what I would say is, if you are interested in perfume and you have the money, it's not that expensive, and if you're feeling adventurous, give it a try. You might like it. Anyway, I'm going to end this here, and thanks for listening to my weird review, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm back, and this is my final update about LouLou by Cacharel. So when I first smelled this, you just heard my reaction was really like, I don't know, it felt like a dramatic reaction because it's a very strange fragrance. But that was quite a few days ago. That was a week ago, more than a week ago. And I can't say that I haven't changed my mind about it, but because I was just kind of not sure, I guess I've made up my mind about it. I love it. I have decided I absolutely love this fragrance. It is so unusual, and I know I said I didn't like sweet fragrances. I guess I was lying because LouLou smells quite sweet, but I really love it. It's not just sweet. And really, almost universally, the reviews say this is not a daytime scent. And I agree, but I've been wearing it almost every day because I'm digging it. I love it. It's like, it is a strange thing. It's very seductive. Like, the perfume has seduced me. I am in the thrall of LouLou because it took so long to decide, do I even like this? This is too much. This is weird. No, I'm up for it. It's great. It's seduced me. I'm in its thrall, and I really like wearing it, especially now that it's COVID, and there's, I don't know if anybody else who has to physically go to their work, so I'm not isolated at home. I go to work and physically distant from coworkers and wearing a mask when necessary. But at the same time, I'm not just like safe in my cozy little house. I'm going out into the world, and so I have a slight underlying paranoia about catching COVID, and losing your sense of smell is one of those big indicators. It's, if not the biggest indicator. When I wear Noah, which is what I usually wear, it's gone like that. It just does not last. So I was finding if I did put it on in the morning, I couldn't smell it after a couple hours. And then you think, like, can I smell anything? Is this it? Is this it? Have I lost my sense of smell? And then, no, I haven't lost my sense of smell. knock on wood. Thus far, I've been all right. But my point is, what I like about Lulu is that it lasts a long time, and it doesn't make you nose blind. I don't know, I could still smell it throughout the day, and even at the end of the day, driving home from work with the heat on in the car blowing past me, I could smell the Lulu, and I liked it. I really liked it. So it's a toughie because you think, okay, this is a perfume that took me a few wearings to get used to, and now I really like it. But most of the people that you kind of meet when you are wearing perfume don't have a chance to get used to it and decide whether they like it or not. So they might just, I don't know, I don't want to offend people, but at the end of the day, it's the pandemic. I don't get to go anywhere, And for me, little rituals like putting on perfume or putting on makeup and things like this make me feel more normal. Not that, and not that it's normal. I think normal is the wrong word. These rituals make me feel like the world is not quite as crazy as it is, or that these rituals make me feel a little bit grounded or a little bit more centered. It just feels like, oh, everything's normal. I'm just gonna go out in the world like usual, even though obviously very few people are going out in the world like usual. Anyway, I gotta go. I just wanted to give that update about Lulu. I'm team Lulu. I like it. It's cozy and nice. Bit sexy, but a bit over the top as well. You just gotta go softly with it. It's not too much, because you probably could give yourself a headache. Just like no more than 1 or 2 spritzes. Like you could do 1 spritz and then a second spritz that you walk through maybe. Don't overdo it. All things in moderation.